Hello again, everyone, and I hope many of you know this fellow. Dr. Fred Below is head of crop physiology at University of Illinois, and you have your premier agronomy style program coming up very soon. It's on August 1st, and I hope everyone has August 1st marked on their calendar. But tell me what you have planned on August 1st for Crop Physiology Field Day.
Yeah, I sure hope they do have it on their calendar, Stu. So, that's the premier event that we host. Dr. Sybil and I host the research that our students are doing. And we always have a theme. It's the third time we've done it. And our theme this year, Stu, is Got Yield.
Got yield.
And if you don't, we're going to show you how to get it. Yeah, I think we focus on things that affect yield of both corn and soybean, and we think we put together a heck of a program where we're talking about the various practices and products that people can do to help them get that yield.
Now, this is coming up on August 1st. It starts early in the morning and goes through the lunch hour.
It does, and we have a lot of activities we're going to pack in a short time, Stu. Not only do we have the 8 student presentations, but we have a whole host of exhibitors. And those exhibitors, we'll have time for the exhibitors. You'll be able to see some exhibitors, maybe even pick up a little swag. We're going to have refreshments both before the event. During the exhibitors, we're going to give everybody that sticks out to the end a free lunch. We got CCA credit. We have a few actual field demos going on there. And right before lunch, Stu, we're going to have a panel where we have the Illinois State Yield Champion. He'll be joined by some other surprise growers. It's a surprise, Stu, because even I don't even know who they are yet. But, we'll be able to ask them what they did and how they did it.
And that's great. And I know that individual you talk about is Troy Uphoff. And Troy, every time I ask him how he did it, he's always lays everything out. He doesn't hide anything and really provides some ideas that people could implement on their own farm.
Yeah, one of the things I really like about Troy is, here's a guy that wasn't necessarily a yield champion a few years ago, and he tried and learned, and all of a sudden he's getting consistently high yields. This shows us that it can be done, and that inspires us that the research we're doing is going to help growers. Not every grower does it the same way. It's not a cookbook, It's more of an art stew. So knowledge is power, and that's what you can get by coming to Crop Viz Day.
Now, the knowledge that people can gain is based on some of the research that your students have done over the past year or their years in preparing for a master's or a PhD or some of their postdoctoral work. Who all is talking, and what are they talking about? What types of things will farmers learn at Crop Physiology Day?
Yeah, that's what makes this so cool, Stu, is that these students are passionate about their research. Dr. Sybil, he's going to talk about yield math. I know people don't like math, but you have to do math to get more yield. And the problem with math is there's negative numbers, Stu, if you don't get it right. So we're gonna show you the math of yield. We know that weeds don't add yield, and we know there's some weeds that are worse than others. And so we're going to talk about resistance and how to prevent weeds from taking yield away. And we're guessing, Stu, that under high yield, there's even more weed pressure. That'll be one of our master students. We're going to pull the pants of the plant down and look below ground. A lot of stuff is happening that we can't see, and so we're going to remember the roots. We're going to show you farmers that there's a lot of variation in hybrids and rooting, and you can use that to manage it. We're all about using fertilizer better. So 2 of our talks will show how to place fertilizer, whether that's strip till, dry, fall, liquid. We're going to look at dry drop. We're going to show the growers where that nutrition is. What we have to do, Stu, is we have to grow more yield with using less fertilizer, and that comes down to placement. When we get all this high yield, what's going to happen? We're going to have more residue. Farmers call that trash, but we have another student that's working on turning that trash into treasure. And, it involves biologicals. We're sitting over here with a wheat field next to us, and this is going into soybean, and we got to manage that weed stubble to get the full value out of it. So, and then I'm going to pull it all together, Stu. My talk summarizes all of what the products and practices and the why behind it. So we have a host of things that students are working on that all farmers are involved in. Oh, and I forgot one, Stu. We're also going to match the right hybrid. We're going to show you that hybrid matters. You know, if you want the perfect date, what is it for that hybrid, and how to match management to specific hybrids. And so these are all things that farmers have to think about and do every year.
When you say hybrid, do you mean company? Do you mean number, or what?
Yeah, I mean number. I mean, and you know, hybrids differ by company. They differ by the traits they call them. They
Right.
differ by their relative maturity,
Yes.
and they don't all respond to management the same.
Same way.
You know,
That's right.
they don't all have the same root system. You know, so when it really comes down to producing high yields, it's knowing what your hybrid is capable of and making
Okay.
sure you supply that.
Okay. All right. Crop Physiology Day again is August 1st.
August 1st.
Where can somebody find out more about it? When they need to get there? Where it is?
Yep. So our website, Crop Physiology Lab website, you open that up and boy, you see our brochure. We got a nice color brochure. It shows the picture of the presenters. Always like to know what somebody looks like when they're presenting to me, and it gives a little brief description. It shows the address. It's down at the main farm. We'd like you to register, but it's not necessary, and we promise you all an excellent lunch.
That's right. But really, that will help if they register, because that means that the last person will get a barbecue as opposed to not getting.
Yeah. We hope we have more people than we can feed, Stu, and so that our students don't get to eat. You know, but if you register, we'll know how many are coming, and that way you know that the poor student at the end gets a meal.
Okay. You usually have a couple hundred people.
And we hope so. We hope to build on last year's success. Actually, we're very proud of what we do. These farmers are going to be seeing and working with these students in industry and in academia for years to come. And why not come and see what the future holds?
Because some of these students will go to some of the companies that farmers may buy seed from, or fertilizer, or whatever it is, and they may run into them again at a field day for that company.
You bet, Stu. What I've discovered in ag is it's a pretty small world, and everybody knows everybody else, and we're actually all trying to help each other.
Right.
And so I think I'm very proud of these students. I think they're going to make a positive impact, and I believe I can promise the growers to come that they will learn something that will help their operation.
That's right. That's right. I know many times I had interviewed Eric Winans here at Fred's Field Day, and now I'm interviewing him at Brant at the research farm over at Pleasant Plains. I've interviewed Logan Woodward several times, and now I interview him at Pivot Bio. And so it's one of those things where you may run into one of the students that you hear at Crop Physiology Field Day, and he or she may be on your farm offering some opportunities and suggestions next cropping season. So as you say, it is a really small world. Fred Belo, we appreciate what your conversation here this morning, and mark your calendar for August 1st. Again, if you need details on everything, go to University of Illinois Crop Sciences, see if you can get the Agronomy Day website to tell all of the different things, and look for Crop Physiology Field Day on the 1st of August. Thanks for watching. I'm Stu Ellis.